This is amazing. You people have a lot of faith just to think, I don't think he'll be any good. I'm leaving. I'm gone right now. God bless you. I am excited to be part of this experience. Poyen, Arkansas. I think it's official. My career has peaked. It's all down here. I'm already losing the third guy. I don't know. How does this? They told you to go potty before you got in here. You know that. It's unbelievable. I am excited, and I love it. When you don't know when to laugh, follow this girl right over here. You are having way too much fun. I want you to know that. I love this. I love the fun that you can have in church. Why wouldn't you? God has given us every part of the human experience as part of who God is, his nature. He said he made us in his image. So if we laugh, it's because God laughs. It's because he has fun. And so I love coming all around the country. I've been in all 50 states, but I love Arkansas. I do. And I'm going to tell you why, because Arkansas reminds me of what made this nation great. You are blue collar, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps kind of people. I love you because you work hard. You don't ask for a handout. And here's why I love you, because you hunt, you fish, and you don't apologize for it. And that's America. Oh. I am sick up to here with the political correct. Don't shoot animals, they might get their feelings hurt. This is Arkansas. You don't even pretend to be animal rights activists. You people are see the bunny, shoot it, eat it, make a hat. Hey, that's a cute bunny. Yeah, it sure was a cute bunny. Is that a snake? Nope, that's a boot right there. Put that on. That's America. Shoot it, eat it, you got a head lift over, hang it on your wall. Why? Because America was built on people that worked hard, people that weren't looking for a handout but wanted to help others out. That's who we are. That's what you guys are about. You're the country folks, and that's why I love coming to places like this. The people that remember what made this nation great, and all the founding fathers and all the bills and the Bill of Rights they gave us, and that's why I look around here and I love to see the men come out in church in Arkansas, because not only do the men come to church, when you come, you're packing. How do you not love that? Man, that must make your altar calls a lot easier, doesn't it? Would you like to accept Jesus? I don't know. I think so, yeah. I think I'll jump right in and accept Jesus immediately. Why? Because the Second Amendment was given because we wanted to keep the first. We wanted to have religious liberties. You can't have that if people are stealing your freedoms and your liberties. And unfortunately, because there is evil in the world, people have to defend themselves against such things. But coming here was wonderful, because I get to see, I call it the No Church Too Small tour, because I don't believe any church is too small. You guys are doing the heavy lifting in Poyen. If it wasn't for you, what would they have? What is it? Poyen. You're correcting my grammar? You make only Southerners can make two syllables out of one word. That's what I'm saying. Poyen, that's what it's Poyen. Then why'd you add the Y? We don't know. Look at even the pastor's like, we don't know. God bless you. What a beautiful church, and you got this great seating. It's wonderful to come here and in a smaller church and yet have people who are ready to hear God's word in a great environment. This is wonderful right here. You got a jacuzzi back here. That was wonderful. It's got to be an Assembly of God church. It's like, we're going in the jacuzzi in Poyen. And I got to find this place. I had to drive here, of course, and I was in, where was I? Where did you put me at? Malvern? Is that where you put me at? Malvern? Malvern. I don't know. Tell me how I'm supposed to say that one. Malvern. Look at Malvern, you idiot. Obviously. Doesn't count. Got to drive here, and I just have one thing. It's a beautiful little poem. I love small towns. How badly do you not want to be found? It was ridiculous. I was like on a freeway, and then it was a 2-lane, and then it was cobblestones. Suddenly I ran into a guy with a covered wagon and a donkey saying, "Follow me, I'll get you there, come on." We're going to Poyen. And don't mispronounce it. There's a lady in church won't let you get away with that nonsense. That's all she does. She's got the anointing, the proper pronunciation. That's what she's all about. She'll let you have it. But I got here and I found you all, and this is beautiful and it's special and it's wonderful. And we should be able to laugh. There's plenty of pain to go around. Take the pleasure when it's there. It's part of the human experience. The sin nature that has come into this world has brought evil and darkness. But God has given us light and love and healing. So take them both. And this is what always blown me away, because people are like, "Oh, are Christians allowed to laugh?" It's like, what? Where did we come up with that? How pathetic has things become that we have to question? Exactly. We have to question, are we allowed to enjoy life? Christians who said, supposedly, they have the truth, wonder if they're allowed to laugh in church. How backwards. How broken have we become that we would even have to question if we have access to joy? I don't think that's a God thing. I think somebody else came up with that construct. Now, if you're familiar with me, let's find out. How many people, raise their hands, know who I am before I got here? A couple of you, all right. Who have no idea who I am? That would be it. Nobody else. That's good. I said, who knows me? 4 people. Who doesn't? 5 people. And the rest are like, we don't know what to do. We never get questions normally in church. We don't want to say the wrong thing. We'll be exiled. But here's what's going on. I'm a professional comedian since 1988. I've been on many television shows, 12 faith-based films. I've been in newspaper articles, done a lot of things that God has allowed me to do as a comic, even though I'm a Christ follower and a conservative philosophically. I'm not a political comic. If political means I tell you who to vote for. No, I don't get involved in that. What I do care about is what the culture sees as how to behave. That I care about. Because that's a God thing. How are we supposed to live? Okay? So tonight, I'm going to do comedy. My comedy that I've been doing a long time. And if anybody here is actually familiar with me, it's material you've never seen before, because I got 5 albums out there. But this is new. It's going to be my next album, so that's going to be fun. After that, we'll take an intermission, and then I'm going to do the God experience, where I'm going to actually give you proofs of God's existence. So if you have skeptical friends or family, atheists, millennials who don't think there's an answer to God, this is for them. It's going to be fun. It's going to be unique. It's one of a kind. But today, we're in church. Today, it's Sunday morning. So today, instead of being the comedian, which is what I do to communicate, today we're going to talk about me as a person. Just as a person. So let me tell you my story real quick. The first time in my life I almost died was the day I was born. I was born in a very small town known as Bremen, Indiana. Very tiny little town, about maybe the size of Poyen. She's embarrassed. She's doing the girl thing. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Women do that when they get embarrassed. They put their hand in front of things. They think it makes them invisible. Yeah, if I can't see him, he can't see me. Gee, even ostriches are going, clever, clever. How do you like the front row? She's like being punished, apparently, for something. Stine's coming, stick it right in the front. But a very small town in Indiana, similar to this. Grandparents were farmers, parents were young. So I was born in Indiana, but I was conceived in Germany. You see, my father was a young man, and he was in the army, very young. And they shipped him to Germany. And I don't know if he'd ever even been out of the state of Indiana. And my mother, who was about 19, also had never traveled much further than her state, went to visit him in Germany. Little farm girl. It's like if you've never left Poyen and suddenly you're going to Germany. And apparently my parents couldn't find anything interesting to do while in Germany, with the Bavarian Alps getting in the way of the view and all. And so my parents apparently took time to make me. So even though I'm from Indiana, officially I'm German. Which is why when I was a baby, I only ate strained bratwurst. And when I look at you people, it's obvious you're inferior. Look at the people. Is he doing German jokes? Is that what? That don't fly here, please. Thank you. We don't. But that's where I was conceived. But here's what took place. My mother, at that time, when she discovered she was pregnant, did a very evil, dubious thing. My mother prayed to God and said these words, and I quote, "Lord, if you will give me a son, I promise to dedicate his entire life to your service." Without asking me, getting my approval, she just threw me under the bus. Told God, make me a son. He gets your whole life. And here's the thing about God. If you dedicate your child in the womb to God for his entire life, apparently God takes you up on this offer. You have no choice. It's like being made in the mafia. God uses you and doesn't let you leave until he kills you. Yes. And so I had, if you believe in God, if you believe that he is supernatural, if you believe that he makes sacred vows of humans seriously, a mark on my life. No different than the marks that we read about in the Bible of certain people who were born with certain specific expectations of what their life would be. And it's how it was fulfilled. Well, that happens all the time. It doesn't happen just to them. It happens to you maybe, or you. That's how it works. This idea of the supernatural in the natural form is part of your legacy too. Everything you read in the Bible are your people. Even the Israelites, the Jews, God said we were grafted in. Those stories in the Old Testament, they're our stories. We're grafted in. We're not Jews, but we are spiritually part of the chosen people. So my mother went into labor. And it was a distressed labor. I was a breech baby, which means I was face down, feet first. Back in the 60s, they didn't have quite the technology. They were trying to get me turned around, whatnot. Things were going wrong. Heart rates were going crazy. People were losing oxygen. Apparently, I had locked my feet into my mom's uterus and was hanging onto that umbilical cord like a ski rope because I wasn't quite as excited as she was of starting my ministry. But somehow I got turned around, got out right, and we were close to death, and we both survived. This is not an unusual story, by the way. Oftentimes, people that were destined for God's work have a miraculous birthing story. It's not unusual. There are lots of patterns in the world of life as you read it that happen continuously, that God shows you how he interacts with us. And so there I was, coming into life. And I lived my life the best I could in a small town in Indiana. And my parents, at one point, something wasn't working out well in their relationship. And of course, you're a young child. You don't really understand the full ramifications. But they're getting divorced. And if anybody knows about divorce, it's the most difficult, of course, on the kids. Because no matter what happens to you and your wife, no matter what you feel you have fallen out of love or whatever you found something, whatever you've managed to convince yourself this is okay, to the child, the mom and the dad is always their mom and dad, no matter where they go. That's my parents. And suddenly my father's not at home and he's somewhere else. And I see my mom and sometimes she's crying. And of course you're a little kid and you don't know what's going on. And you pray for healing, hope. You just want your family back. And miracle of miracles, through circumstances I maybe don't know completely, they got together. They actually came back and remarried. And then we moved to California. That's the punchline right there. If you've been watching California, I'd like to say the wheels came off, but apparently they never had wheels in California. Because they are crazy. But that's where we went. And that's where I felt content with my family in this new land. Big and unique and special with oceans and palm trees and tacos. Never heard of tacos. I came from the Midwest. In the 60s, there were no tacos. Salsa was called ketchup. Back then. That's all we had. And I was around 12 and living my life, and remember walking in one day where my dad brought me into my room and sat me down and said, I just need to let you know that your mother and I are getting divorced. So even though the prayer that I would pray, that hope that there could be reconciliation, that rarely ever happens, did suddenly, out of the blue, another shot to the gut. Another moment where the innocent child who's not expecting anything and hopes their parents will be strong for them and always be there, that's all you know. Parents are the first God you know. They supply for you, they protect you, they watch over you, and they teach you about life.
That's right.
And suddenly, once again, it's gone. Everything you thought was good was gone. And it doesn't take long for a child of that age to experience these difficulties and these pains beyond understanding, who does not have a lot of life experience. There's not a lot to deal with a lot of pain and internal struggles. So you're not prepared for this type of trauma, psychologically. So you stick up a wall. You have to defend yourself from pain. And walls work really good. They keep pain out. They work. They also keep love out. And hope. And trust. And walls work both ways. You can't let anything out that way either. And so through many, many years of my life as a Christian, I sat there and tried to work through these things that I had to endure. And of course, God uses the pain in your life to heal others if you're aware of your purpose in life. You know, you're constantly kind of reliving as a Christian the life of Christ. He said, you're going to be like me. You're going to be imitators of me. Well, think about this. Jesus went to the cross. He died. One man, innocent, dies so that trillions of people can be brought to life. But as a Christ follower, you're in the same boat. Oftentimes it's said, I am crucified with Christ. That the pain some of you have struggled with in your life that you consider a oppressive thing, an attack from the enemy, evil, and it is, was your crucifixion. So that when you trusted God to get through the pain and come out the other side, you would be able to heal thousands of people, to say, let you tell you my story. Let me tell you what I've gone through and what God has brought me through. Nobody chooses that. Nobody wants that. That's just the way it works. You are not your own. And so that's why I ask you people today, why do you come to church? Why are you here? Because you need some friends to hang out with? You can do that at the Moose Lodge. Go get on a bowling team. That'll work. Do you come because you're supposed to and you want to look good in the community in a little town like Poyen? People know who you are, what you're up to, where you're going, where you're not. Maybe you're still in an area where you care about what people think about you, and maybe they'll judge you one way or the other. Do you go to church because your parents brought you and you're supposed to go? It's part of what we do. It's part of our tradition as a family. Nothing wrong with traditions. But Jesus didn't call you to a tradition. Jesus didn't call you to your parents' faith. Jesus called each and every one of you sitting here today to the one individual relationship that you will have with God. Because in the end, no matter how badly, we need pastors to help teach us and mentor us. And we need women in the church to help walk the younger women through life. And the men to tell the men how to treat their women and what life can be like. As much as we need each other and designed for community, indeed. In the end, my friends, you face God alone. It's always an individual relationship. What did you and I do while we were together on earth? Dad doesn't get to walk with you to that place. Mom doesn't go with you. Sisters, best friends, it's always you and God. Now, my guess is that most of you here would profess to be followers of Christ. Some of you may not be. Some of you might be looking. Some of you might be saying, I don't know, I'll check into it. Maybe this is something I need. Maybe it's a missing piece. And by the way, if you don't know Jesus, I promise you, it is the missing piece. But at least thank you for showing up and exploring it. Some people don't even try to look. So you're here. I don't care if you've been here for a year and you still haven't professed Jesus. If you're still coming, something is telling you, I need to look and see, is there something here I need? That's great. There does come a point when you got to pull the trigger, though, by the way. There comes a point when there's no more excuses. We live in a culture of excuses. My entire comedy career has been based off of mocking the political correct. Because I want to watch political correctness die in my lifetime. But first, I want to watch it suffer. Why? You want to know why? Because it's evil. Well, I thought it was a nice thing. It tells people to be nice to each other, and we never judge everybody, and we never say anything negative towards anybody. Isn't political correctness a good thing? No, it's a secular religion, to be sure, but it comes from Marxism. It is literally cultural Marxism. Marx, by the way, created communism, and he was also an atheist. So if you think that political correctness coming from the foundation of atheism is a good thing, you're out of your mind.
Think about it.
Yeah. But I don't want to offend people. I'm a Christian. And I love it that people who hate my faith will use it against me. You Christians aren't supposed to offend anyone. And I'm like, well, you know nothing of my faith then. Let me enlighten you, if I might. We are not allowed to maliciously offend people. I'm not allowed to think I'm better than you. I'm not. Not allowed to think God likes me more. He doesn't. Not allowed to think that I'm superior to you. I'm not. Trust me. The only reason I'm a Christian, it's the only religion that would have me. I wanted to join. Can I join you? No bacon. I'm out. I'm out. What kind of God would deny me a BLT? I'm out of here. But if the truth offends you, it's your problem. This is the broken darkness of this culture of relativity. The truth is supposed to offend you. That's how you know you don't have it. Offense is piercing your conscience. When you don't tell somebody that Jesus is God, the only way to God, which is what he claimed, but you don't tell somebody because they might get their feelings hurt, you are robbing them of the opportunity to repent. You are stealing their soul's ability to get well. It means you either are a coward or you don't like them very much. Because if you like someone, you don't watch them walk off a cliff. Why are you here? What do you believe? Do you like the music? It's great. Do you like the Spirit of God flowing? Feels good. Yeah, it's all fine. It's part of a religious experience and a time of community. Yeah, fine. But what do you believe? Well, I believe that Jesus is God. Do you? No, do you really believe he's God? God. Let me tell you how you can discover if you believe anything. I mean believe it. And not believe as in 2 + 2 is 4. I mean to the deepest part of your core that you believe something. 2 ways that you can help determine just how much you believe something. I don't care what you tell me, by the way. You can tell me anything. I believe that Jesus is God. I believe that Arkansas is the best college in the country. You can believe anything you want. But then it comes down to, are you willing to pay the price for that belief? So let's start with phase 1. How do I know what I believe? Does it affect your behavior? Because anything you believe will change the way you live.
That's right.
There's no other way to do it.
That's right.
And by the way, I'm not making up some kind of new agey kind of stuff. It's all biblical. Jesus says, do you love me? Yes, I do. Keep my commandments. Oh. Oops. Do you love me? I sure do. Feed my sheep. There was always not an expectation of what you spoke about. Does it affect how you live? I believe Jesus Christ is God, and if you don't accept him, you go to hell. You believe that? I do, I do, I do. When's the last time you told somebody that? Well, I've got this one friend, and I really want to talk to him. I'm going to try to bring him to church so that the pastor can preach to him. He may not make it. And it's nice you want to bring your friend to church. If you're relying on your pastor to do your job, you're not a believer. If you believe somebody's going to hell if they don't believe in Jesus, you can't not tell them. I know, but I get nervous. Then ask God for strength.
Amen.
I get scared. Then ask God for courage. It's part of the experience of your life that you need now. You need to change that characteristic trait. I'm not saying it's not real. But there's no excuse. Your pastor's job is to encourage and inspire and to teach and to mentor you so you leave this place doing what he does here out there. You are responsible for Poyen. You were born here or you moved here. You vote for the mayor, you vote for the school council, you vote for the taxes, you take care of the community, you take care of your yard. You're responsible for your territory. This is yours. So you fight for these truths. You be kind. That's the great flaw in Christianity. It forbids me to hate people. Want to hate people? Not allowed. Why? Because it's nicer to live that way? Well, of course it is. But more importantly, your behavior should affect people's perception of what you say you believe. When you live kindly to people that are not kind to you, they have no other way to perceive you other than, who are you? This is not natural that if somebody's evil to you, you return it with kindness. You know what? It's not natural. It's unnatural, or in our world, supernatural. The reason it's crucial that your behavior is changed by what you say you believe is it forces people to have to deal with it. Other people can act differently than the norm. They seem to be outside of their natural order. Something is unique about them. You're supposed to be a freak if you're a Christian. You're a stranger in a strange land. We're just passing through, throwing some breadcrumbs, saying, follow us. We found the way home. We're just as screwed up as you are, by the way. That's proof that Christianity is real, because everybody in here are knuckleheads. Well, I see you Christians, you're all a bunch of hypocrites. No, we're consistent. This is who we are. This is the beauty of Jesus. It's what makes him different than Muhammad and Joseph Smith and Buddha and everybody else. He said, you can never earn me. I'll do it for you. And when you come in and screw up over and over again, it's proof of my grace. You don't deserve it. I gave it to you anyway. Welcome to Jesus Christ, the God-man. It affects your behavior. When that guy cut you off, You are used to getting angry, doing the little, let's speed up and do the tailgate thing so I can teach him a lesson. It doesn't work. Someone who doesn't care about kindness or courtesy is not going to be taught a lesson by you tailgating them. They're going to simply see it and be justified. Yeah, I cut him off. He's a jerk anyways. I wrestled with this. It's not a perfect guy. And I begged God, take this away. This sucks. I don't want to be this guy. And I don't feel like I know how to do it. But here's something God said, renew your mind. Okay? Now this is an assembly of God. So you're very much about the access to the Spirit of God. You're very much the access about how words have power. You're very much about access about how your mind is incorporated with your body in the way that it sees things and how it can change reality. That's all part of the God experience. Stuff we'll be talking about tonight. And bring your friends because it's going to be funny. We're going to have some comedy up front. Let them see church like they've never seen it before. This place should be full. But here's the thing. They should see a person that responds differently than they're used to. Because what happens is you get in a pattern in your life. You get used to responding in a certain way to certain stimulation because it makes you feel good. Or it makes you feel like you have control. The guy cut me off, it makes me angry, I do my thing, and it makes me feel good because I got back at him. You've created a groove in your thought process that you go to when the bad things happen. Here's what he did this, I respond like this, and you need to make a new groove in your brain. You need to see it as seeds. Not that you've been abused, but in fact, the person that has done something evil to me, I can choose to the old pattern that's made me feel good. I'll get back at him and I'll be revenge. Or I can create the new pattern where it says, I'm going to throw some seeds out there of grace. I'm going to throw seeds of mercy out there to this person. Did they deserve it? No. But you know what? Sometimes I don't deserve it. And I sure hope I get it someday when I don't deserve it. I better throw some seeds out for this guy. Because somebody's doing it for me. And for grace. And for love. And for forgiveness. And the more these seeds are planted, the more you get to get back into the true Christ that's inside of you. A new brain pattern is created. Renew your mind. And when you feel like wanting to go to the old pattern, you say, yep, no, I'm killing that path. I've got a new path that allows me to be free. And in the end, you're free. No longer are you affected by other people's behavior as to how you end up living your life. You're free. And people get to watch somebody in society giving kindness. We need kindness in America. And if the Christians aren't giving it,
help us, Lord.
What's left? Who else is going to do it? You said you believe Jesus is God, and you act exactly like the world. There comes a time when you have to quit talking about Jesus and start being Jesus. There comes a time when whatever you think you believe about your faith becomes more robust and powerful, and it actually changes who you are, and people notice. What has happened to you? Who are you? And it all comes with gratefulness, and it all comes with humbleness. How do you know what you believe? Does it affect your behavior? Just watch yourself. Now again, you get grace when you fail. You get grace. That's what God died for. Christ didn't die for you when you do things right. He died for the things that we do wrong. But he expects you to constantly be seeking the great. Okay? Second way you know what you believe. will you die for it? You think it's rough being a Christian in the United States? Go be one in North Korea. Go be one in Nigeria, China, Indonesia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan.
Think about it.
Go be one in Jordan. Go be one in the areas where you literally die. Well, I mean, I want to believe in this, but I don't die for it. Oh, then you don't believe. Because it means this earth and this life is more important to you than eternity. How long are you going to be alive?
Don't know.
Yeah, but just make a guess. How long do you think you're going to be alive? If you were just to throw out a number, that would be normal. 86. It's a long time. How long are you going to be dead? Exactly. Eternity is where we're going to be the longest.
That's right.
It's not the time to blow my nose, but I'm going to. Excuse. Will you die for it? If you have to question it, it means you're not fully in yet. Will you die for it? Do you really believe that this earth is all there is? Will you die for it? Are you willing to sacrifice yourself for the greater good of this God I said is promised me eternal beauty and power and majesty in his presence? Is that what you really believe? Yes, well, I'm going to heaven. Then what in the world are you hanging on to for down here? This is a sacred place where you live. Your body is given to you by God. It is sacred. It is holy. It is not something to be discarded. I'm not telling you, forget this earth. It has no purpose. Just look to one day going to be with Jesus. No. While you're here, you have a very sacred duty to tell people about this God you said you believe in. You have a sacred duty to live differently than others. You have a sacred duty to remember that you're going to be in eternity forever. This is the only time in your entire existence ever that you get to have faith in God. Believing when things don't seem right. Having confidence even though things are hard. Believing in that healing even though you have cancer. Believing in that freedom even though you're going to jail. Believing in that hope even though they passed away anyways. When you get to heaven, no faith is needed. I'm there. He's right there. This is the only holy, sacred space in your existence where you get to live supernaturally, naturally, because you don't really know how this all plays out. This is your one moment to prepare for eternity where God looks at you and says, well done. They all mocked you at school, but you stood alone and said, Jesus is God. Well done. They told me I can't talk about Jesus in school. And I said, I can, A, because I believe in it, and I don't care what you say, and B, because I live in a country that gave me a First Amendment right to my religious liberties, and so I'm going to take access to this law that I was given in this country, just like Paul. We're going to beat this man for his believing in Jesus. What did he say? Go ahead, I'm a Christian. I guess just beat me away. He said this, are you allowed to beat a Roman citizen without a trial? No, of course not. I'm a Roman citizen, not a Christian. Not a Jesus. I'm a citizen of Rome. I appeal to Caesar. I'm using the law of your land to defend myself. First Amendment was given to you in the United States. It's the most important amendment we have, the first line. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or forbidding the free exercise thereof. What does it mean? It means Congress can never compel you to believe one thing or another based on a law. The courts have turned it into something else. What they say is this establishment clause is all nonsense created by people that hate God and liberty. They want to control you. But it was designed only so that you can never be compelled by law to believe one way or the other. But you were allowed by the founders' idea to have Poyen, Jesus Town, if you wanted, and use tax dollars to fund it. You just can't do it by law. If the citizens want this, you're allowed to have it. That was what freedom actually was. You can have Atheist Town too. So all I'm trying to tell you guys today, I'll let you go. Is tonight, we're going to laugh. We're going to laugh. Because I did get to be comedian guy. And we're going to talk about God experiences in a unique way. I promise it's a gospel presentation like you've never seen. And you need to bring your friends. This is a great time for you to see, what do I believe? Maybe I should ask so-and-so to come if they never go to church. I got a better idea. Just say, hey, I'm picking you up at 4:30 and you're going with me. Where are we going? Don't matter. See you at 4:30, you're coming. How bad do you want them to know Jesus? I don't know. Seriously. Well, I don't want to, what if they have a game to watch or some kind of thing? You don't believe. There's nothing at stake. You don't fear for their salvation. Are you saved? God made it very clear. There's going to be a lot of people in front of God saying, look what we did in your name. Cast out demons and all these wonderful things. And God says, I never knew you. How dare you use my name when you didn't have authority to it? We need fewer people in church in America and more Christians in America. This is a smaller crowd. It's summer. I'm sure some of you are on vacation, whatnot. But here's the point. It doesn't matter. 12 disciples changed the world. I would rather, this is going to sound heretic, I would rather have nobody saved today. Not have that one saved guy, and have every one of you changed so dramatically that when you go back into your world, people can't even know what they're dealing with. These are power-filled men and women of God, and they are committed to seeing Poyen become fully, completely, and utterly given to Jesus Christ. If all of you became that, you become the pastor of your area. You become the communicator of your area. You become the standard bearers that don't do anything less than expect the greatness and the healing and the hope that you say you believe, but you're not passing it on. Then you must not believe it. These are hard things you're saying. It's making us feel bad. You're hurting my feelings and you're convicting me. Yeah. Why are you convicted? Because you're not doing it right. That's why. And he doesn't convict you so that you can feel bad about yourself. He convicts you, says, I love you. It's the Father saying, get back in the game. It's all right. Get up, brush yourself off, get back in. I taught you something today. You get a new life. Go change the world. Start with Poyen. It's hard enough to pronounce. I'm going to tell you all something real quick. When you begin to live and believe what you say you do, the supernatural starts becoming natural. It's not some weird formula. It's not some Assemblies of God, charismatic, crazy, over-the-top, emotionally driven thing. You really see miraculous things happen. It becomes a reality, a norm. But you have to do something. God always expects you to go first. Knock, and it'll be opened. Seek, and you'll find. Ask, and you shall receive. He didn't say, here's your stuff. Now, did you want it? Ask, knock, go get it. God says he's out there. You get to hold him accountable. All right, here I am. Let's roll. I went on a trip to Ecuador. I was on a bus. We were going to go meet these children that were part of this big group of kids in a church in Ecuador, in the middle of nowhere. Talk about poverty. Go look at your tool shed. In your farm back there, it's got the dirt and the siding. It's falling apart. Tools are all rusted. And you're going, man, I need a new one. And then throw a bed in there on the floor. Get a family of 6 and tell them to go live there, because that's what they get. That's how they live there. And as we were getting there, he said, listen, there's some kids there that have never been sponsored. You can sponsor them. And I wanted to be part of this. I didn't want to talk about my faith. I wanted to live it like I really believed it, which means I'm responsible to do something. Christianity is a religion of inconvenience. Christianity teaches you one of the most unique concepts you'll ever know. Whatever you need, you have to give away. I need love. Go love. I need to be forgiven. Go forgive. I need money. Go give money away. I need money. Then go give it away. That doesn't make sense. Welcome to the supernatural. I don't want to release it. Then you'll never get it.
That's right.
I don't have to tell some of you folks about tithing. That's one thing you guys got down. Or at least you've been taught it. I can't guarantee that you're doing it. That's between you and God, but there's a cost if you don't. Don't be complaining when I don't have anything. That's because everything I wanted to give you in the seeds, you won't plant. I don't know what to tell you. There's not a farmer here that looks at his corn crop and goes, didn't plant, but I'm sure I'll get a good crop here soon enough. Just don't want to get out and get all sweaty and mucky. So God just blessed me with a corn crop. He said, fine, where's the seeds? Oh, I didn't throw any out there. Okay, you're an idiot. So as we're getting there, I get this 2 pictures, a little girl about 12 and a boy 5. And I said, you know what, I'm going to sponsor this little boy. Now, he didn't know he was being sponsored because they're in this town in the middle of the hills of Ecuador. And I sponsor him. It's $38 a month. Who doesn't have that in America? You have to fast 1 restaurant meal a month.
Wow. Think about it.
While a child who lives in dirt can have food, Christian upbringing, medical attention, and it's always done with the local church. This is not some charity that just throws money at. The local church with people on the ground to give them life and love and walk with them like Jesus. That's what this does. So I want to be part of this group because they're legit Christians and they're prudent with what they give and they're changing these kids' lives. They're in deep poverty and we can heal them because we live in the United States of America, the richest nation in human history. So I take care of this kid, and I get there, and of course the kids are everywhere scattered. There's got to be 75 of them running around going nuts, and they're all over you because you're the visitor, right? And I'm getting in there, and I'm looking at these kids and trying to be nice, and this is fun. And look at these innocent kids. They don't know any different. They don't know they have no money because it's all they have. What they have is nothing, and that's all they know. But they're okay because they're young, and young kids are innocent, and they can accept whatever comes. And this one kid kind of was hanging on to my leg, and it's like, oh man, and the kids are everywhere. It's like with Jesus. Hey, I feel like energy has gone out of me. That virtue has left me. Who touched me? Everybody's touching me. No, but somebody specifically touched me uniquely. A woman touched me. Who is it? So this one kid was just hanging on to me and not really letting go. And everywhere I'd go, he'd just be there. And the kids could have all done that. But this one little boy wouldn't let go. And it's like, that's all right. I don't want to hurt him. He's just a little kid amongst all these others. And I look down at him and I go, this is the boy I just sponsored on the way here. He didn't know he was sponsored yet. He didn't know me. And they're all here. And for whatever reason, he was attached to me. Now, I can sit there and say, what a coincidence.
No.
Or I can say, oh, this is how it works. God's constantly given clues. I'm here. This is real. Are you ready to see this happen on a regular basis when you discipline your mind to see God in the miraculous in every stinking moment of your life? You're breathing right now. How do you make yourself do that? It's a miracle. You cut yourself and it heals itself by itself. That's God. You see the trees and the woods and the forests and the mountain ranges. That's God. You breathe oxygen and it transmits into what you need to live. And it's God. And you see people that are kind when they're not supposed to be. And it's God. And I couldn't believe that this little boy was there. And they gave us some little candies to give to the kids because they got nothing. And I had an idea because I had been a magician, sleight of hand magician years ago in my life. And so I said, his name was Joffrey. Oh, there he is. 5 years old. Lives on a dirt floor. His mother works 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Rarely sees him. His grandmother was supposed to take care of him, but she's always gone because she's drunk. That's the life he gets. For $38 a month, I get to change that. It doesn't cost me anything. I said, Joffrey, and I don't speak Spanish, so I did the best I could. Joffrey, pico uppo a stono, please, oh. I needed a translator, and I didn't have that, so... And I picked up the little rock he would give me, and I'd throw it in my hand, and then I'd say, okay, blow on that. And he'd go, and I'd open my hand, and it's candy. Candy. But from your breath, suddenly 75 kids are going, I need rocks. What is going on? Kids are bringing cinder blocks. Do something with this. And they would give me rocks, and I'd throw it in my hand. I said, blow on that. And they'd go, and I go, look at, oh, it's a rock. Well, let's try it again. Blow on that. Oh, it's a rock. What is going on? Blow it. A rock. What happened? Joffrey, can you blow on that? Candy. 75 children running around. He has no father, a mother that's rarely there, a drunken grandmother off. He's 5 years old, all alone, and he has to survive in life. I had just sponsored him, and I decided for one day I'm going to make him the coolest kid in this stinking school. Only Joffrey can blow on a rock, and it becomes candy. My point is this as I leave you guys. Please, please, bring friends, family, loved ones, enemies tonight. You're going to laugh, you're going to hear about God, and you're going to get an opportunity to know Christ. But this is church service where usually the most committed, those who are most either in with Christ or want to be, this is here. This is today. Okay? I want to invite you to a supernatural experience to do what I did. I have 13 children left over from my tour that you can sponsor for $38 a month. With Compassion International, they're one of the most trusted Christian organizations in the world. And if you go there and take care of these children, you get to tear off your little thing. You sign a little debit card, credit card. They take it out every month. Don't even notice it. You can go online, tell them when you want it taken out, so it's not going to mess you up. If you need it at the 30th or the 1st, it's up to you. And you get a picture, and you get to put them on your refrigerator, and people will walk in and say, who is that? And you say, well, I never met him, but it's somebody that's made in the image of God. And it's my simple way of giving a little away so I can take care of somebody who will never be able to repay me. Because I actually believe this is real. I actually believe that God has called me to be Jesus in real time. Not talk about it, not go to the right Bible study. Have a little bit of a giveaway. I'm giving away a little something in mine for somebody that can't give it back. I'll see him one day. I'm offering you a supernatural experience. You get to write to them. If they don't speak Spanish, they'll interpret it for you. So they'll write back to you in Spanish, and there will be, or if they're Asian, or if it's from Africa, whatever the language is, they interpret. This isn't just some throwing money into a pot. You get to see them, talk to them, respond to them, send them photos. It's a relationship, and you get to pray for them. And you send them letters, and they hoard their letters. They cannot believe they were chosen. And we sit here going, 38, that was easy. And it's their entire life. So I want to give you that opportunity today to start deciding, am I going to quit talking about Jesus and be him? Am I going to start making some difficult decisions in my life that renews my mind and creates a new way to live that becomes such a habit that the supernatural I expect and I see happen? I have DVDs I sell too. I know they're kind of going out of style. One day I'll have to go with strictly downloads. But you can buy those too. They lift up God and country, tear down critical correctness. I have 5 DVDs with my comedy, as well as being one that's called Defending the Constitution Without Shooting Someone. And you can go buy those, but I want to let you know this one thing. If things are tight for you right now financially, I want you to go live your life supernaturally. Go sponsor a child. Have the guts, the trust that God will supply what you need.
That's right.
Start living it. See what happens. Watch the things come back to you as you're releasing them. You're not going to believe it till you do it. And if you'll do it today, I'll give you a free DVD just to say thank you, because don't buy my stuff if things are tough. I'm okay. I'll eat tomorrow. They won't. Go take a risk that what you say you believe about God is actually true. Honor him by actually holding him accountable to his word.
Yes. Amen.
Go sponsor a child and then come back tonight. Don't buy my stuff. Take care of them.
That's right.
But if you're loaded, sponsor 2 children and then buy every stinking thing I have. Because my children wait for me at the door like I'm in a Dickens novel. Father, did you go to Poyen? Yes, I did. Did you pronounce it correctly? Well, I tried. Did they buy the DVDs? No, they sponsored a child. All right, I'll eat gruel again, Father. But that's the life you can live. That's the life that you can start today. That's the life that you can start acting, looking at yourself and saying, is this real, and do I prove it in my behavior? Are you ready as a group, as a church, as a Christian body to die together if that's what he calls us to? Because we're all going to end up there anyways. Let's go like warriors, like men and women committed to Jesus Christ, and let's watch this entire region become followers of Christ. Why don't you just believe that supernatural and watch what God will do? God bless you for coming out this morning. God bless you for being part of this church. And God bless you. The truth is marching on.